So there's a woman known as Juliet Awata. This mama is crying. Okay, first of all, whoever wrote this story, please, guys, just stick with the story. But the way they wrote it, this guy is hilarious. Anyway, pay attention. So a woman called Juliet Awata is now crying like an alarm after a handsome man she thought she had finally bagged allegedly served her one of the cleanest Mosho Moja operations seen in Nairobi this year. So it all started so innocently. A DM from the Luo man. The gentleman had been following Juliet for a while and regularly replying to her statuses. One message became two became 10, and before long, the two were sending each other good nights and good days. Then came the invitation. The man reportedly invited her for drinks at a rooftop joint in Sarit on a Sunday evening, which she agreed to without questions. After all, his profile had photos, friends, and all signs suggested he was employed and doing well. Upon arrival, she found him already seated. He ordered her a cocktail, added cheese fries, pulled her chair closer, and started dropping compliments in that low, drugged Luo voice. Hey. And then, actually, this case says, quote unquote, Juliet, I don't think you can come. I didn't think you can come. Look at you. Rangi kama noti ya 1,000 Kenyatta bill. You look like a good morning. That smile, the sun got nothing on you. Way. Yeah, what Luo? Now, by now, Juliet was fully melted. A few minutes later, he received a phone call and he excused himself. He came back, then left again for another call, mumbling something about employees in a private moment. And that was the last time Juliet saw him. Yeah? Minutes turned into an hour. Calls and messages were ignored. When she finally asked for the bill so she could leave, she discovered the shocking truth. He had not paid for a thing. Not his drinks, not hers, and not the food. He had allegedly vanished, leaving behind a bill of nearly 10,000 Kenya shillings. Yeah, guys, aliwacha a bill of 10 G's, bro. Yeah? Juliet reportedly had to call her friends and family to help clear the bill while the man disappeared and deleted his account. You guys, if you're just joining us right now, there's a lady called Juliet. She met up with my Luo brother. Well, the conversation kicked off online. Guy was, he had game. Juliet was clearly very attracted, and they went to Sarit Center. One thing led to the other conversations in Nini. This guy ordered the best food and drinks, and then he got caught up on the phone. He went to the bathroom, still caught up on the phone. Before you know it, Juliet anajipata ko solo hapo hivyo at Sarit. Yeah, with a crazy bill, 10 G's. Thank God her family and her friends came through for her. Does this sound familiar? I'm sure you've heard a story like this before, yeah? To me, it's no longer shocking. I mean, many times, bana, bro. I've heard stories of, some guy called some chick, akamwacha hapo hivyo na bill. Yeah? It's sad. It's sad because I feel like the dating scene as it is right now in Nairobi. You better be careful, bro. It's dirty. There's a lot of crime going on. People taking advantage of each other, right? We've even seen crazy levels of GBV, yeah, that's led to people actually dying, yeah? And you see, I feel like Juliet over here she was attracted to a very good life. Cocktails. Yeah, this guy clearly had a job, so she was thinking about her future, right? Rooftop views. She was thinking, damn, this is probably going to be a regular thing, eh? Lakini Charlie, I don't know whether he lost interest or he found out he doesn't have money. What is going on, bana? Why would this guy actually bail on this mama? Yeah? The guy just, he thought it out, and he figured, free meal strategy inside. Let me go to the bathroom, act like I'm talking on the phone. He probably didn't even have that meal. He probably just took a short a sip of that cocktail and he left, manze. You get. And you know what the funny thing is, by the way? This was so performative from this guy. You get the feeling that he actually intended to do this to this chick. Yeah. So for men like this, by the way, unapata, I think he was playing above his league. I don't think he was ready. Maybe he saw this chick straight up and he's like, yo, hey, AV, I can't handle this. I can't handle it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so if you know you can't handle it, why are you ordering expensive things? So that's one scenario. Another one was maybe he was getting back at this chick. Maybe this chick kept on saying no, and then eventually she agreed. And then now he just wanted to embarrass her. That's why he left her with that bill over there. Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, ladies, there's a lot of lessons to learn from men like this. They're very performative. And you can always tell a performative type of guy. They have this try-hard energy. Anakuja kwa the first date, bro. If you're gonna... Let me tell you, on this show, I've even said it severally. If it's a first date situation, you're hooking up with somebody that, you're excited about, the conversation on the DM has been making sense. Ladies, even you, bana, yeah? You would, according to me, you'd rather keep it light. Let it be so informal. Let it just be like one of those things where you guys went to the park, somewhere public, you go for like a walk, 30 minutes, getting to know each other. It doesn't have to be like an interview type conversation that is, so what do you do for, what's your career? No. Just kicking it, man. Just talking about like stuff, man. The weekend, sports, whatever, man. You know what I mean? If you have to stretch it, go for coffee. But a red flag is if some guy... Yeah, he's overly dressed up, ordering crazy cocktails and food, talking a big game. Yeah, I think that's too fast, too soon. If a guy, yeah, if you've never met with a guy and then the first time he's meeting up with you, he's taking you to this posh place, nah. I don't think he's being himself. I don't think he's being authentic. I think this guy is he's marketing himself too much to you. Yeah, he's trying to paint a picture of himself. But if you've been out here, bana, yeah, like some of us, if you've been a gamer, if you've been in these Nairobi streets, yeah, you've been engaging with people, you just know this stuff a gizo, bana. Yeah, the first time people don't do that, bana. Let's hook up for coffee. You know what I mean? Invite them for a game over, and if you're into sports, let it just be something light. Whatever he's doing is for like the third date. Yeah. So for me, this is just a lesson for this mama to learn. I guess it's a lesson. Yeah. Let me tell you guys, if you're hooking up with somebody and then you find them being extreme, yeah, the first time you just met, they're overly dressed, they're so, I don't know, they're just trying to play this. Yeah, they're just, I don't even know how to describe these people, but you can tell, bro. Real recognize real. Human recognize human. You can always tell. You can see through them. Just know that's a red flag. You have to be so chill. On the first date, don't be a tryhard. Yeah, that's a conversation for another day. Yeah, we'll talk about how you can actually, proper get an attractive woman, high status, and make her your girlfriend or your wife. That's for another day. Yeah, but if it's just hooking up, mumapatana kwa DM, surely. Yeah, and then this guy is going to some other crazy place. Yeah, if you look at even his social media, he doesn't really, come off as, be very careful. You be very careful. So I feel sorry for this mama over here. And shout out to whoever wrote this article, this story. This is so hilarious. I love it. Hi, Sawa. When we come back, big story, man, on Cruise the Internet. First of all, by the way, bouncing off that story that I gave you about Juliet. Question is, what's the worst first date experience you've ever had? Yeah. And you're like, damn, like, yeah. Atakama, I regret, I've learned a lot. What's the worst first date experience you've ever had? For me, you get this must have been very many years ago. Yeah, I think it must have been in like 2010 to 2009 over there. That was when Westie was still crazy. Yeah, so I found out the mama that I hooked up with. Okay, let me not choma for her because I know she probably listens to this show. Yeah, anyway, I just thought she was very desperate, needy, clingy. Yeah, that was this. It was awful. And then she had like a temper. She wanted to, because after that date, we went out. Yeah. You always, sometimes you can always go to the club, by the way. Yeah. We went out. Yeah. But it wasn't so good. Yeah. This chick got into fights with people. It was a horrible first date experience. Aya, Sawa, when we come back, you will not reduce cheating by picking a better girl. Yeah. Just because you've always been cheated on. Yeah. Doesn't mean that now if you pick another girl, ama if you get into a relationship with a better guy, actually they'll reduce cheating. Yeah, I'll tell you what you need to do about this whole situation. Because the funny thing is, man, and this is so sad. Once you've gotten cheated on, yeah, and then you don't course correct, you don't check yourself, isn't it funny how you always end up getting cheated on again? Yeah, it's not the first time, second, even the fifth. What, ladies? It's been 4 relationships, and all these relationships, you were always cheated on. So what's the problem? And then you keep on saying how you're going to pick a better guy in future. You've learned from your mistakes. Well, turns out, just by picking another guy doesn't mean you reduce your chances of being cheated on. So we'll talk about that in just a bit. It's exactly 8 minutes after 9. This is O'Connor with Nothing Compares to You. Twenekazi.
Spice FM.